This case arises out of the San Diego Police Department's detention and incarceration of Will during the 2011 Gay Pride Festival.
Here in San Diego.
In San Diego, California. Just prior to the Pride Festival, a new lieutenant from the San Diego Police Department, Lieutenant Nislight, who was in charge of special projects for the San Diego Police Department, which means that he policed all the special events in the city, he and his team. He was newly appointed and arrived at the Gay Pride pre-meetings with the Gay Pride parade organizers, and he announced a new policy in place for the enforcement of public nudity laws at the parade and festival. And what he did was he did away with the preceding rule, which was the 1-inch strip rule, which means you had to have a 1-inch strip covering your backside. And he did away with that rule and said there would be no buttocks. And when people at the parade festival protested and said, well, that's not exactly fair, given that you can see G-strings and thongs on the beach all day long, he admitted that, yes, it was a different standard, but...
Okay, I think that's important. You see G-strings and thongs, which do or do not meet that 1-inch strip standard, and you see them at the beach versus at this event, which happened where?
The event took place at Balboa Park in the city of San Diego on city parkland.
And it's specifically an LGBT Pride Festival. It's a gay event.
Right, it's a gay event. It's the San Diego Gay Pride Festival. They've had it since 1974. It's the event that takes place every year at Balboa Park in the city of San Diego. And so what...
I'm sorry, just to clarify real
Yes.
quick, the outfit that I was wearing was even more so in compliant than that 1-inch strip rule. What I was wearing was actually a gladiator type kilt that covered the entirety of my buttocks. But under that, to be even more so compliant with the rule, I chose to attach a G-string to it.
Gotcha. So your point being that your outfit was more modest, was more concealing, less revealing than even was required by the traditional understanding of this 1-inch strip.
Right.
But we are jumping ahead. We're jumping ahead a little bit.
The point of the comment is that a new policy was adopted by the San Diego Police Department that was specifically adopted for and motivated by trying to bring into what he termed compliance, but trying to limit the public nudity that was present at the Gay Pride Festival. And as it turns out, it was only intended to be enforced at Gay Pride. Okay. And so far has only ever been enforced at Gay Pride, and really only the person who's ever been subject to its enforcement to the point of incarceration was Mr. Walters here.
All right. And then when you're talking about nudity, by any stretch of the imagination, could you have been considered nude? Was it even debatable?
By no stretch of the imagination would I be considered nude anywhere, regardless if it was San Diego or San Francisco. I was absolutely not nude under anyone's definition.
Yeah, so Will arrived at the parade and festival wearing the same outfit he had worn the year before, which was a gladiator kilt. Underneath the gladiator kilt was a pair of thong underwear. So he not only had the thong underwear, which you see it every day at the beach and city in San Diego, but he also had leather flaps, approximately 12-inch by 12-inch square leather flaps on the front and back, sides exposed. And that's the outfit he was wearing and arrested only for public nudity, which created, in our view, a double standard, an enforcement posture for public nudity that was extremely different for Gay Pride than for the rest of the city of San Diego and for the rest of the special events. We actually had an investigator go to a different special event in the city, which is the Over the Line Festival, and film these same officers that arrested Will standing next to participants in this festival wearing G-strings and thongs without a problem, without issue. And
were they approximately the same level of revealing?
If you took Will's gladiator kilt away. So they were wearing what Will was wearing underneath the kilt, and they had no issue, and the police had no issue with.
So you're
his
saying
wearing.
on top of okay, so you're saying that on top of what these other folks at this other event, this non-LGBT event, were wearing the same thing that Will had on underneath the kilt, plus he had the kilt on top of that, yet he was arrested and they were not?
Exactly.
And these same officers that arrested him
These same officers that arrested Will are standing.
the year before.
Yeah, they will before are standing next to women that were participating in the bathing suit bikini contest, wearing g-strings and thongs. They're smiling. They had their sashes on. The same, in fact, one of the exact same officers that arrested Will is seen standing next to this person. So, in addition to that evidence, we had evidence from declarations from police officers, from retired lifeguards that said that g-strings and thongs are commonplace and worn without issue. San Diego's beaches, parks, and bays.
Because this wasn't only a year before. What we've come to find out is there is an iconic person on the San Diego beaches. I believe he's by the name of Leslie. That goes up and down the boardwalk of the beach in a G string or a Speedo. I'm not really.
Oh, I think just about every beach in Southern California has that one figure. In Venice Beach, Santa Monica. So, in other words, there's a person who's known for wearing like a ridiculously revealing Speedo or something like that.
Yes, and has been doing it for years.
Yeah, in San Diego, his name is Flash, and he changes his outfit. He changes his outfit depending on the season. Valentine's Day, wears something with hearts on it, that kind of thing. But he's well known and goes without issue.